Hello and welcome to this video for the daily challenge on Tuesday the 21st of April, which is dealing with main and subordinate clauses. In this video I'm going to talk through step by step different elements of understanding to help you access those activities. So we're going to talk about what a clause is, we're going to talk about the difference between main and subordinate, I'm going to talk to you about some tips and tricks to help you identify them, and by the end of the video you should be able to access and engage with the activities which have been set for you today. Some of the discussion might get a bit technical. I'll try to keep it as simple and understandable as I can. And I'm also going to flag up the key essential parts and other bits which are more I need to tell you, but you don't necessarily need to know in order to do the activities today. Okay, let's get started. What is a clause? So, I've put up a group of words here now. Something that can help us understand sentences and putting sentences together is to think of them, each word, as a brick in a wall. Together, each of those bricks make a nice, tidy, strong wall which we can understand. If we took out certain words, if I took out man, if I took out under, there'd be gaps in our wall that wouldn't make any more sense. This can help us to understand what a clause is. Now, a clause is a group of words. A clause is a group of words. And it's a group of words that has a subject and has a verb. Subject and verb. It doesn't have to be a sentence. A sentence is something with a full stop and a capital letter at the end that makes sense, but we're talking below sentence level. A clause can be a sentence, but it doesn't have to be. It could be part of one. So a group of words with a subject and a verb is a clause. A verb is a doing word. It's an action. In this sentence, the man sat under the tree. Our doing word is sat. That is the action, sitting. The subject of a sentence, most simply, is the doer, the thing or the person that does the verb, that does the action. So in this sentence, who's doing or what is doing the sitting? Well, it's the man. And you might say the man is the subject. But definitely man. So in these group of words, the man sat under the tree, we've got a subject, the man, and the verb, sat, doing the sitting. I often think of it verb first and then think about the subject. So this is a clause. This is what we would call a clause. Next, we're going to have a look at some examples of clauses and things that aren't clauses, so we can tell the difference. Okay, so remembering once again, the subject is the doer, the verb is the action. And a clause has to have both of these things. It's no good having one, no good having none. It has to have both. And a clause, remember, a group of words. So it doesn't have to make a sentence, it can just be a group of words. So let's have a look at our first one here. We've got the man sat under the tree. We've seen that one already. We already know the action is sitting, sat, and the subject is the man. So this is a clause. Let's give that a tick. Just look at the second group of words. Along the quiet country lane. I'm going to start trying to look for a verb. Along the quiet country lane. Well, country is a noun, so that's not an action. Country lane is a noun, not an action. Quiet is an adjective. The is a determiner. Along is a preposition. So there are no actions here. None. because it's not got no action in it, it cannot have a subject either. If there's nothing going on, there's nobody doing the going on either. So this is not a clause. It is, however, what we might call a phrase. A group of words together. A phrase. Remember, a clause is a group of words that have a subject and a verb. A phrase is just a group of words. Let's have a look at our next one. As quietly as possible. Again, we don't have a verb. We do have an adverb, but it's not a verb. It's describing how something is done, but we don't know what they were doing. As quietly as possible, what? They crept along the corridor, they read in the morning, they drank their squash. We don't know. So there's no action involved in this group of words. No action, therefore no subject, because there's nobody to do the action. No action to be done. So this is a phrase. Let's have a look at our final one. She looked around the playground. Action. I do have an action this time. I've got looked. Somebody is looking. That's an action. Do I have a subject? Well, who is the doer? She is. We don't know who she is because we're using a pronoun, but that's still a subject. That's still the doer. She. And that always puts me into mind of, I'm sure an adult has told you once or twice before when you say she or he, they say who's she, the cat's mother. Still, we know who is doing. So this is a clause. So for your first activity, this is what you need to be thinking about. Can I find a verb? Can I find a subject? If I can, they are a clause. If I can't, it's a phrase. It's not a clause. Again, my top tip, find the action first and then see if you can find who or what is doing it.